Okay, so I think I've got the hang of this Logitech camera. Oh my god. Want to choke it. Okay, so I'm doing away with integrating symbols into my healing because I've been taught way before I learned about it that the ability comes from within. So I'm taking away symbols. Usually I would post my hand with the symbols, but now I'm going to draw this power, this ability from within, and truly master healing from my source, my inner source. So, um, today in this video, I want to demonstrate healing, uh, for, to awaken potential, and, I want to discuss a few things and address a few things. I'm hearing this phrase, millennial. Um, First and foremost, I'm no millennial. I did stay with my parents for quite some time, and my mother had been ill. She had been ill for some time, with high blood pressure, and um, my father with a diabetes scare. It was just I've been through so much in my life, and a lot of people know from my story that since I was a little girl, I was born into a period of adversity. So life does not always work out how you plan it. I've heard this Trump supporter recently say to this Black Lives Matter supporter, go to college, get a college education, go to high school, finish high school, get a high school education, and make something out of yourself. But really and truly, even that does not define that you're going to be successful. So I do want to address that. Like a lot of people who graduated college, they're still struggling. That doesn't make you some super multi-millionaire, or mega mega successful person in this universe. It doesn't mean that you're better than anybody, or that you'll make a better life for yourself just because you finish high school, or just because you go to college. These and see, this is what this is all about. My message today is all about us living up to statistics. Like I'm not the results of your statistics. I'm not the results of your census, your or your survey. I'm not the results. Because I don't. We don't have to take these definitions and interpretations of us as for as who we are to equal who we are. Because I'm not. I will not accept it. I renounce it. I expel that. I'm not a millennial. Now, my point is that uh, just because we plan, this whole life that we want to, live out, does not mean that it goes according to that. Now, I'm simply refuting millennial because although I don't own a home of my own, I do pay my own. I do pay my own way where I live. Um, it's not a home of my own as of yet, and I recently moved from my parents about a year ago. Um, because of my circumstances, I did move out of my parents' home, and it's not always as easy. People paint this big picture of, okay, so when you finish high school, you're gonna move out, you're gonna get a job, and you're gonna go out there and you're gonna make something of yourself. It's not how it works. Um, I mean, I'm not defending any negative behavior in any aspect or to any degree. Um, we all are responsible for creating the life we want. However, this whole BS about this American dream of living out on your own and having a life of your own. I've wanted all those things for years. Trust me. Since 16, I wanted to become independent. I got my first job at 16, and I was working ever since. But see, the thing is, I was surrounded by a lot of negative people, a lot of naysayers, a lot of people in the family who were negative, and it was not always positive or influential. Uh, that's the least I can say about it, is that it was not always positive or influential, empowering me to become my best self. But now that I know better, I can therefore do. Um, But all these statistics about millennials, I am not one of them. I refuse. Even though I'm 27 and I'm not yet there where I want to be, all is still well. But I'll be even more happy when I'm independently living, independently driving. I don't do all these things for myself yet, and I'm not ashamed to say it. You know, all these, all these confined laws. Where do we get these things from? It's kind of like, I also want to address. Uh, I know I switched the subject, but I want to address this. A lot of us, uh, as spiritual healers, counselors, we are limited by these restraints and constrictions of the gift that we have. The gifts that we have are given to us. No, they're not. Not by a long shot. The gifts that we have come with a price. They come with a hefty price tag. I guarantee you. If anyone tells you that it came for free, that they have no worries or constraints, they're lying. They're a fool. Because as a spiritual being, having a human experience, we have doubts. We have psychological orders that we face. Um, being in a society where a lot of our gifts and abilities are not openly accepted. Um, there are a lot of challenges, and it costs to be who we are. It is not free. You tell me, when was the last time a mother had a child and she was able to provide for that child for free, go to the store and buy Similac or any of these other prescribed medical requirements for babies, these formulas that babies are required to have when they're a certain age. You tell me, when was the last time they were able to go inside the store and pick up a can of milk, of dried milk, or cereal, or baby diapers, without a cost? It costs. Everything has a price, whether it's spiritual in nature or whether it's energetic in nature. Everything has a cost, and that goes back to my thesis about millennials. I am not one of those people, because it's been it's been difficult to in the past. It has been very difficult to reach that point in my life where I can say I'm really where I want to be, because it's not that easy to say. It really isn't that easy to say. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, get out and get a job." No, um, I do have a base pay, which I'm proud to say that I have. But to say to someone who's so passionately and so eager about what they're doing, that maybe they need to get a job, no, and end up like who? Like these miserable people who don't even like their jobs, but they're getting jobs just to make ends meet. No, thank you. No, thank you. Um, I'm really grateful to be able to be of service to others with my gift. But what I'm so sick and tired of is that people have been confined to this. Well, God gave it to you for free, so why not give it away for free? I am so sick of hearing that line, because the gift is not free. When we go to bed at night, sometimes we experience dreams that we have to interpret. We don't always know what's going on. Sometimes we receive messages that we don't always understand. So we go through our constraints just like any normal human being would. And my whole message here and intention is to clarify to all this foolery going around. Let's say is because we're spiritual, we're supposed to just freely give by gift. We, as spiritual beings, we have the right to choose who we want to give our gifts, who we want to share our gifts with, you know, and at the end of the day, it's about reciprocating energy. We are sowing seeds, even if we don't receive back in kind from where we're sowing the seed. But we are all sowing seeds. There's no such thing as free. I don't believe in free. And here's the reason why, because everything has a price tag, whether it's visible, supernatural, or invisible and hidden from the human eye. Everything has a price. Everything. Every single thing. You ask for a happy marriage. What do you got to do? You got to put in the work. They say it's biblical that faith without works is dead. And what do when you work? You get something in turn. So where we get this logic from that something has to be free, or things that, or the spiritual person who has the ability to heal has to do everything they do for free? Where do we get that logic from? I don't know where all this is coming from. No one may have said anything to me, but I give information and I have to share it. I have to speak out on it because why? In a way, I'm affected. I'm affected by uh, in the past. In the past, I've been affected by what people have said about spiritual ability, when in truth, it's not true at all. None of this bullshit is true about being about giving of ourselves without expecting anything in turn. That's bullshit to me. And you have to excuse my language because I mean that's how I feel. You will have to excuse it because it's just how I feel. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how do we come to this logic? I mean, you look at the people who go to serve this country. They get all the benefits that will help them to survive. I mean, it's basic knowledge. It's basic human knowledge. You supply and you demand. If you're going to demand it, you supply. Exactly. If it makes any, whether it makes any sense or not, it's true. You know, in order to demand something, you got to supply it. I mean, you can't demand something you won't supply sufficiently. Um, I just think that we need to wake up. We, as a unified people, need to wake up. To the truth that um, that we all have needs. We all have wants and desires, and just to say that someone needs to, because I've gotten it a lot. I've gotten a lot of people in the past who say, "Oh, why does it cost this, for your, healing?" And since then, I've came to a reasonable price range, and because for some time I was kind of reflecting on what everybody else was charging, but I need to focus on what I would pay. What I would pay for this service, if I were on the receiving end, you know, and so that's what it is right now. I would I would pay triple times this amount. I would I would return again and again at this amount, which is 150, an hour. And I find it reasonable. Other people find it reasonable, but I can't ignore this feeling in my heart and in my soul. It tells me a lot of people think that spirituality is free. No, 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 no. It costs. Jesus Christ himself, he paid a price, he sacrificed, really, that's what it is. It's about sacrifice. We sacrifice a lot of things, as spiritual beings. Nothing is ever free. Sure, we offer we offer our kindness, to world matters. we offer our kindness to, to others, and that's to empower and uplift our surroundings and empower other people, helping them feel good about themselves, and that all costs nothing, but at the same time we're sowing a seed because we know we're going to need energy too. Am I right? I know I am. And I'm not being cynical. It's the truth. We plant seeds because we know we're going to need those seeds in time. Um, I don't know where this energy is flowing from or who needs it. I just know it comes through. Um, and then, because like I said, like I clarified, I don't predict. I prophesy. I heal. I interpret. I don't predict the future. Um, and also, I don't. A lot of people say, "What can you tell me about this? What can you tell me about that?" What am I thinking? It doesn't roll that way. It doesn't roll that way. If I pick up something about you, it's for you to know. But if you're asking and demanding me to tell you what you're thinking, that's not of a higher source. That's ego. You know, you're wanting to know what you're already thinking. It's weird. It's totally weird to me. Like, really? You want me to tell you what you're thinking? It's kind of strange. You know what you're thinking. I they say test and try the spirit, but I think a lot of things can be taken out of context. Like, I just foolery can take the empowerment in a different concept. Does that mean we stop? No, we do it anyway. As Mother Teresa has taught us, you do it anyway, even though the fools will take it in another context. I just there was just so much on my mind this morning when I woke up, and I said, hmm. Are you kidding me? You know, how's it possible that any human would think like that? Knowing that as you sow, you reap, you sow, you reap, you sow, you reap. It's just karmic law. That's karma. You have to sow into something in order to reap from it. You have, and if you don't, then you defy order, you defy law, you defy harmony, you defy balance, and you don't get anything in return. It's beneficial to you. And your whole life begins to crumble. Your whole life begins to fall apart because why? You're taking something which does not belong to you. And we as spiritual beings, all the light workers out there, this is a message for you. We as spiritual beings, just like anyone else is not allowed to impose their will upon us, like we're not allowed to impose our will upon us, on others, excuse me. Um, Others are not allowed to impose their will upon us and demand service upon us if we don't feel that it resonates with purpose or it aligns with our calling. Others are not allowed to impose their demands and requests upon us. We have to, just like they have to agree to work with us, we have the right to disagree to work with anybody. We have we have that right. So why why are we succumbing to these people's demands about doing everything we are for free? We feel drained afterward, as though something has been ripped from us. That's not cool. It's foolery. I I don't know. This has been heavily up on my mind since I woke up this morning, and I don't know who I'm talking to, but I know that I'm talking to whoever's listening. Um, and we need to know this. We need to understand this, that um, our energy comes with a cost. Once you realize that your energy comes with a cost, comes with a price, you'll begin to value it more. And I'm not saying think so highly of it that other people can't benefit from it. At the same time, what I'm saying is, um, value your energy, value your power and ability, because nobody's making anything easy for you. Why are you making it so easy for everybody else? You know, other people have to work for what they want in life as much as you have to work for everything you want in life. I'm not saying it's going to be a struggle. And another thing I want to reach out to all of us about is that, Spirit told me, um, we are taught so much about failing, but really, in truth, if you're learning, if you fell down and you got back up fighting for whatever you want, for whatever it is your passion is, you didn't fail. Instead, you have learned. You have learned, and it's an experience, not a failure. We This word failure is poison. It is poison. I know a lot of people teach about failure, and you can't have success without failure. I think we need to put it in a different context. Like, if you're not falling down, okay, I get that. If you're not falling down, you're not really doing anything. I get that. But see, failure is to try and do something and then feel so hurt about it not working out to our favor that we refuse to go further. That's what failure is. You're a failure when you decide you don't want to go any further. That's when you're a failure. Um, but truly, um, failure is ego. It's an aspect of ego. Like, okay, I didn't get my way, so that's it's a failure. I didn't get my way. Like, oh my God, I didn't get my way. But if you surrender to your purpose, if you surrender to your higher calling, then you can't fail. You can't fail. You may fall down, you may tumble, or you may face some obstacles, but if it's part of your purpose, then you can't fail. They say that through through the Christ mind, all things are possible. I say that you don't have to be some specific religion to benefit from the love of Christ. You know, I myself, I'm not religious. People ask me energetically and telepathically, what do you believe in? I believe that God exists. I believe that Jesus Christ walked the earth and he did sacrifice himself. Also, I also believe in the history of the Egyptians. And it's pretty much, I believe in the source of all that is love, and that's God. That God dwells in all of us. It's just that we are not equally uh, awakened to this truth. So how is it possible to get everyone to believe it? You can't. It's not possible because we don't all resonate on the same vibration. We are connected, but we don't all resonate on the same vibration. Um, I could talk, I could talk all day about this stuff, but I'm not here to talk your ears and eyeballs off. But I did want to get those messages out there, to whoever might be listening, letting you know about all these coded messages that are in the universe. You know, I don't believe in failure. They say failure is a part of the path to success, but really, if you're clinging so tight onto a dream that's not even part of your purpose, you are a failure. It's not a part of the reason why you're here, your soul mission. Yes, you are a failure. You know, but we can easily change our minds and say, you know what? I'm going to surrender to my highest calling, my highest will, by the Creator who sent me here for a purpose. If you begin to align yourself with your purpose, you cannot fail. You may fall down, but when you will get back up because you feel so passionate. You feel so present in who you really are. Um, I'm gonna take a little break and I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Give me just a second. Okay, so I had to get a sip of water. Ah. But I do want to show you the energy because I did promise it to you. No, I didn't forget. I woke up with a message on my mind, and sometimes I'll wake up like at 5:55, and I know that spirit sending a message to me, and they want to get this message out there. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. There's a message. There's a message. Get up. We got to tell you. And I know that spirit is being respectful of my rest and relaxation time. So it'll wake me up and say, it's time. You have a message. Or there's a word. We need to speak through you. So you got to get up and record this. Um, okay, so Woosah, now that I've spoken, now that the queen has spoken, she may do a piece. Okay, so the legendary Miss Cleo passed away. Miss Cleo, I'm Cleo, recently passed. I just want to say namaste to your soul, and I send love and light to your family for this incredible light that they've lost, and to the world who's affected by this loss. And send love and blessings to you from the other side. Um, Now to my healing abilities, which I now send telepathically. I don't use symbols anymore. I've surrendered those for very pertinent reasons. Excuse me. For very pertinent reasons, I've surrendered symbols. I used to use chokure, and I don't need to intend it in any way because I've surrendered it. Um, just look it up. But I used to use chokure, and for a while I just felt like the energy came from within more clearly, more lovingly than when I use symbols, you know. And I do appreciate it for all the blessings it has brought me, but I now surrender it to spirit for transmutation, purify, healing, purification, and healing. Now to the ability, the fun part. Now that I got the details out of the way, woohoo! Okay, so I mean, um, let's get started. I'm gonna show you the ability. So I I intend to send vibrations to all who are on this healing connection, sending powerful vibes to all who are watching, who are connecting, even to myself. Namaste. I hope that you enjoyed the energy and the flow of vibrations that I've just demonstrated to you. Now I don't have to demonstrate, but I know that we need constant reminder of who we really are. So that is my intention from now on. And when I send healing, I don't have to do any of what I'm doing, and I do it because I know I need it. I know if I need it, others need it also. So that's the intention here, is that I give because I need it also. And I hope that you enjoyed it. Please go to bookquornesha.com for bookings, and Quornesha.com for interpretations of dreams, symbolic meanings, and dream analogy. Thank you. Namaste. Love and light.